Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So, a lot's happened. We're gonna go over it right now. So, paint booth. Managed to get the front on. We've got holes cut on the back side with a jigsaw, squares for filters. So this will be our fresh air coming in, both sides. You've got the doors here. We've got them hinged, 2 hinges on each side. That's all done. All right, buddy. Big Ron's gonna play Vanna White for us. Welcome to Brown's Rod and Custom, your home for street rods, muscle cars, and Volkswagen content. This is my dad, Big Ron. He's our body man and fabricator. This is my beautiful wife, Megan, our editor-in-chief and supporter. And this is me, Adam, the designer and mechanic for our projects. If you find our videos helpful, like and subscribe for more content.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. I have a favor to ask of you, and it's a big one for us. So about 78% of the people watching this video right now, or any of our videos, are not subscribed. If you guys could hit the subscribe button, that would really help us. It is free, it costs you nothing, there's no subscription kind of deal. You know, you don't have to pay a monthly fee, none of that, it's free. But it does help us quite a bit as far as growing the channel and moving these cars down the line and so on. So if you could do that for us, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when we post new videos, which is all the time. And yeah, that's what I need from you if you can do it. I'd really appreciate it. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one, and stay tuned. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. Well, we got a special edition video for you here. It's not necessarily a car video, but it's how to build a paint booth in a 2.5 car garage out of 2x4s, plastic, and so on. So I think a lot of you might be interested in this. As you guys know, as you see behind me, we've got a 2.5 car garage, right? Now what we need to do is we need to paint the 1944 two-door sedan in here. And we've done body work and welding and grinding in this garage for the past like 10 years. So 8 years. So no way to clean it. It isn't a thing, right? So,
and it's got a popcorn ceiling.
Yeah, and it's got a popcorn ceiling too, so that makes it even more fun. So so what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a box, and we're going, basically we bought 11 2x4 by 16 foot long. We've got 22 2x4 by 8s, 8 foot long. We got two, what would it be, 4x8 sheets of plywood, 7/16 thick with hinges to make the front doors, and a bunch of other things. We got an explosion proof fan that we picked up at a swap meet out of a body shop so we can exhaust out. We got a concrete tube that we can use to duct it out of there. We do have a couple things working in our favor. We have a side door, which is great because we're going to exhaust out that side door. Now a couple restrictions that we have: the garage door. We have to be under the garage door, so whatever the height is when it goes up, we got to be below that. What do you got there, Ryan?
It's going to be, because we're taking that off.
Okay.
So we're going to be,
About 83.
yeah, 84, probably 83 and a half, just because
About 83 and a half.
we'll be where the plastic.
Will be where the plastic starts. So we're gonna have plastic on the roof, the sides, and the floor. And then the very front will be the plywood doors. And we'll go from there. But first step of this thing was to clear out the garage. And we've moved a bunch of stuff, and we'll get into that here in a minute. But was to basically make it to where we could build a box in the garage. We just have too much stuff. But right now what we're doing is Ron's figuring out the width. We're thinking will be about 14 feet wide by about how long?
We want to have enough room on this side to get to our fans, our electric
So what, if you can't hear him, he's saying we want on this side of the garage to have as much room. So our fuse box is here, our power, our air, all of that's on this side. So we want to leave enough room where we can walk down that side.
Yeah, it'll probably be more like 16 inches.
About 16 inches from the wall so that we can walk down it. So the width of the paint booth right now, we're looking at what, 14?
Yeah.
14 foot wide. How long do you think?
It'll be 18 foot.
18 foot long, 14 foot wide. And 83 and a half foot tall. Or 83 and a half inches tall. Not feet, inches. Yeah. And then, yeah. Now we do have some cool things that we're gonna try to put in it. We're going to put a door in it. We're gonna make a door, have a door where we can walk in and out over by that door. We're also going to, we've got a lot of lighting left over from when we did these hexagonal lighting up here. So we're gonna put some of that inside the paint booth because we're gonna run some 2x4s across on the ceiling, so we'll have something to screw to, and we're gonna actually try to light it up as good as we possibly can, and then you know, so on and so forth. So okay guys, so step one of this was pretty simple. Get as much crap out of the garage as you can, right? That's step one. So that blue cabinet was actually there, and there was another cabinet, and it came up right about where it says National Street Rod Association there. So we got all that out of here. A lot of it's on our back lanai inside the house. You know, mom's thrilled, but we're getting through it. We've got there was a big cart full of metal here. That's now out in the back patio. All the most of the jack stands and things of that nature are out of here. Anything that didn't have to physically be in here is getting out of here. Obviously, I still have work to do. But that's kind of what we're doing. Right now, you can see Ron's building this box. Gives you an idea here of size. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, so really, that side door I was talking about was right here. And this is, we've been doing this for years. Not building paint booths, but painting in here. Nothing actually as important as what we're about to paint, but this is where we'll be exhausting. This is the explosion-proof Dayton exhaust fan that we'll be running, inducting right out of that plywood there. And we'll also have this fan going, and then over here we'll have fresh air filters, and we'll have a door here somewhere in there between the fridge and that cabinet. Will be a door framed in there, and then we'll have the boards across the top, and then this lighting. I have a lot of straights left, these straight long runs, which will be perfect for running across here. So when you take this light here plus the other light inside of the booth, plus we have those lights there, should be pretty good. We've got a pretty decent air filtration system. Regulators, we got one here. There's going to be another one over here by the air compressor. We're running an Ingersoll Rand. It's a pretty good size compressor, really. You know, should be interesting. So that is what we're doing here. You see Ron working with his T-square there. So this is the plastic that's going to go up around and above. And we're just making a bubble, basically. A nice big box. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. Happy Saturday. This is going to be day 2 of the paint booth. Well, the cleaning of the garage / paint booth build. Big Ron might get loud for a second. He's putting some screws in. So what you're looking at here is the back wall. So what he's doing, we've got a top plate, a bottom plate, some 2x4s for some rigidity, and we're going to stand it up. Once he screws it all together, we'll stand it up, and hopefully it fits, and then we'll anchor into the concrete below, up into the ceiling on the top plate, and that'll be the back wall, right? Then we'll start, where do you want to go after the back wall? Which wall?
Build sidewalk.
This one here?
It don't matter.
We'll probably start on this wall after that. So
Actually, probably that one.
that one? that
Yeah,
wall.
why not? That way,
It's a running plan.
because we got, well, actually we'll do this one, because we got to put all that wood in.
Right. So one thing we do have to do for sure is we need to take this plywood down and put in a new piece of plywood cut specifically for this exhaust fan and this exhaust fan, so we can mount that to it with a little framework of 2x4s underneath it, so it supports it, and get some filter action on the other side of it, and so on and so forth. So that's got to go up for our exhaust, and then we'll be rolling. So that's one of the big things that has to happen, and then and for that.
We're using screws so we can take it all apart.
Oh yeah, what he's saying is we're using screws, so we're actually going to mark all these, number them, so that we can take this down and put it back up anytime we want. So we always have a paint booth we can just throw right up. So this concrete 12-inch form tube, just a Saccrete form tube, is going to be ducted in one side into the booth, the other side to the exhaust fan, the Dayton exhaust fan. These work really good for that, so we're going to do that. These plywood sheets here will be the doors, and then there's a bunch of plywood underneath. These are all the 2x4x8s that are going to be the supports, and the 16s are on the 2x4x16s are on the car trailer there. So yeah, gonna be an interesting day. I'm gonna bring it all to you as we go here, and should be pretty fun. So stay tuned. Right now we're working on the back wall. I'll come back to you once we get the back wall built and up. I might even set the camera up and you can watch us stand it up, and then we'll go from there. So stay tuned, guys.
You ready? Yep. Okay. Now, if I put a screw in this, that'll hold it for now. You got your screw now? Where you want it to be. Oh yeah. And we'll have to see if it's level, or we can kick the bottom out there. Let's just go with that, right? That keeps it from falling over.
Okay guys, you guys have been watching us build some walls. Pretty simple. You got 2x4x16s on the floor, and then you got the 2x4x8s as supports. Just basically build them on the ground, stand them up. Nothing to it really, just a matter of just trying to get it to where it'll stand up on its own. Right now we've got one screw in it over in that corner right there. In case we gotta adjust and whatnot. But that's why it's a little, you know, on this end, nothing holding it up. But we're getting there. So back wall, side wall, getting ready to build the next wall here. We'll be chopping some more 2x4s here in a second. And this will be that wall. And then we'll be dealing with the front here. So, and then at some point we'll be doing all the detail work to it. We're gonna put a door in over there. We're gonna duct in the fan, the exhaust fan on this side, put in filters and stuff here, so we don't have that problem. So we got clean air coming in. So you want to exhaust the air out and you want fresh air coming in. So that's what we'll be doing. We're getting there. We got our saw hooked up out here. Got all kinds of goodness going on here. We're running through the 2x4s, which is good. That means we're getting somewhere. But this is, yeah. It looks like it's gonna rain, but they say it won't rain until 4 o'clock. And right now it's about 10 a.m., 10:30. Nope, 10:07. So we got some time with 2 walls up. We should have the other 2 walls up here pretty quick. And then we'll be doing all the fine finishing touches stuff. And then we gotta put lights in it and we gotta do all that kind of stuff. So lots to come, bear with us. where we're at. Back wall's ready. This wall's built. We got it clamped up here on the garage just to keep it from doing this. Ron went ahead and added an additional 24 inches here, 2 feet, to make it 18 feet long. Did that. We did nosedive down here a little bit. We probably dropped an inch, inch and a half. You can kind of see it there. So that way we would clear the garage door. We've tested the door. That works good. And now we're on this side. We got the plate in, this support's in, and now he's working on this front board here. He's over here cutting that, and then we'll get the top piece in. And then the plan is to take this wall down, set it down, and to plastic it. Get the plastic up on it just like the back wall. And if you're wondering what we use to do this, we use just visqueen, some heavy duty visqueen. It's a thick mill. But we use grip right cap nails. So like if you were putting the felt down on your roof, right? You tore your roof off, the first layer is felt, or used to be anyway. I think they got something new, but you would have used cap nails on it. That's what we used here because we literally have a ton of them. A whole pail of them. So it works really good. Secures this, probably better than staple. You could staple it, you could do whatever. This is what we did. So the plan is get that up and then get this sheeted and then back up. Now right here, we won't put plastic. This is our door in and out of here. We're gonna put a door here. So we'll start the plastic here going that way. So that'll help. And then when we do this side, we wanna frame in that exhaust fan and get it to where we can run the plastic up to it and then just cut out so it's nice and clean. Cat nail it and then cut it out. It should look really good. So that's what we got going. So that's in. So now you see what's happening here. He did put these cuts in here, these angles. It's not flat, you know, just so that it starts to give it that dive. Kind of like you see over there. So that's what we got going on over here, guys. Just wanted to show you this, give you a quick update. So yeah, we're gonna finish this, and then we're gonna plastic this side, and then we're gonna get into the framing of the exhaust fan on this one, and then we'll plastic this side. And then it'll be the cross bars, 2x4s going across the roof, and then plastic the roof and start doing all the things and making sure that we can actually, things are where we need, like the electric for the radio and all the stuff behind, we can get to it, right? So we got to get all that figured out still, but we're getting there. Stay tuned, boys. Thanks for watching. If you're watching this, please like and subscribe. Do not go anywhere. We have a lot more coming for you. Stay tuned. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. Happy Sunday. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Here we are. So it is day 2.5, I guess you would call it. We got half a day Friday, yesterday, and then now today. So, and really, Friday was mostly cleaning the garage to even begin this, so really it's day 2. So here's where we're at. Walls are up. 3 of the 4 walls are up. We still got to build the front, but we do have the roof supports up, which is nice. Got them all the way across. We do have the hole here for the door we're going to be building later today. So today we're going to build a door here. We're going to take the plastic up and over the top and plastic off the top. We're going to cut a hole here somewhere in this general vicinity and stick the concrete tube through and cut it. We may or may not cut a hole here for the big exhaust fan, the orange one, that one. I'm kind of against it. I think the other one we have will be just fine. We'll see where we get. We've got to run some electric. We've got to run lighting in here. I'm going to be running lights on the walls and across these beams. So hopefully we can see there'll be a lot of these flat LED tubes. So that should be interesting. But so far, nothing crazy. Pretty simple stuff. We got the exhaust fan back there mounted on the door. There's the concrete tube that's going to go across, so that's the distance we got to go. Not too bad. But we do have room to walk through here, as well as we have the door there that'll lead to this area right here, where we're going to be mixing the paint and everything right here. This is a cluster at the moment, but this will be where we're mixing all the paint. And we got the compressor and all of that sitting right here. So not bad. Feeling good about it. Now we went ahead and unloaded the truck again. So I think we're gonna need a couple more 2x4s, probably 3 or 4, just 8-footers before it's all said and done. But that's not bad. We bought 22, so call it 26 to 28 would probably get it done. So yeah, so far so good. So basically how we did this, guys, you got 2x4x16s on the ground all the way to here, and then we added this extra 24 inches to make it 18 foot long, and then we've got just 2x4 studs every 48 inches basically, and then you've got 16 footers that were cut down to, I believe it was 182 inches, but these were cut down and placed for the cross beams. You've got basically a visqueen, a thick milled plastic that we got from Home Depot or Lowe's, one of the other, like 10 years ago. But we put that up on here with grip right cap nails, roofing cap nails for like putting down felt on a roof. And yeah, that's pretty much what we got. And we got an exhaust fan we picked up from a swap meet a while ago, years ago. So that's where we're at so far. When we get into the front and all of that, I'll definitely bring all that to you guys and show you. But so far so good. I'm happy with everything, and I think Ron's happy with it. We had the car in here last night. It fits great. Now when we paint the car, we're gonna drop it down basically onto the drums. So we'll have plenty of roof clearance, and we have plenty of clearance in here when it comes to the parts, right? The only thing that was a question was, were we high enough to be able to paint the roof of the car? And you know, I think we're gonna be good there. So that's where we're at, guys. Stay tuned, hit that subscribe button. We're gonna be hopefully painting tomorrow. So tomorrow we should be doing inside of the hood and inside of the trunk lid tomorrow, and testing out our paint booth. So stay tuned for all this, and we'll see you here in a minute. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So a lot's happened. We're gonna go over it right now. So paint booth, managed to get the front on. We've got holes cut on the back side with a jigsaw squares for filters. So this will be our fresh air coming in both sides. You've got the doors here. We've got them hinged, 2 hinges on each side. That's all done. All right, buddy. Big Ron's gonna play Vanna White for us. Cool. Open the doors. All right. So we got doors, big doors to open up. And then when you come in here, I went ahead and ran some lighting here. We did tarp the top. So the top of this is covered. And then I went ahead and ran some lighting here. And it's a little interesting. I had quite a bit of it, but my problem was I didn't have enough of these or the ends to plug in. So I did what I could with what I had. But the cables are going up and over. Same here, got this light. Cables going up and over to a power strip. You can kind of see it hanging there. We've got the exhaust fan in here. We got it, I took the duct sealant tape and went around it here and on the other side where it meets up to the actual exhaust fan. Got more lighting here. This one I just dog-legged off here just to have some extra light. I have another light that we're gonna try to either mount there or there, I believe, here in a little bit. But this gives you an idea of what we got. We have decided to not plastic the floor, and there's a reason for that, and that is because that plastic right there in particular is like literally like walking on ice, and we don't want to bust our ass. So what I did is I vacuumed out the whole garage, and then I vacuumed out the cracks and anywhere anything could be, and then I just blew it out for probably 10 minutes with the air compressor. Just went ahead and took the hose, blew it out to get it as clean as I can. Now when we go to actually paint, I will wet the floor and I will mop this floor before we ever get to that, and probably blow it out multiple more times. But so far it's pretty good at the moment, better than anything we've ever had here. Now Ron cut a hole right there with his hole saw to bring the hose in. Got the air hose in here, so now we're not trying to drag the hose through the plastic and ripping the plastic. But yeah, this is our booth. It's been a day. We got to run to Lowe's, get a sheet of plywood for here, and we could have pieced it together, but we didn't want 2-3 pieces of plywood on there for a door. We're just gonna buy a piece of plywood and a couple hinges, and then that door will be done. And then the only other thing is we're gonna come up with a way to show you here. When these doors shut, see, we even did things like this because there was a gap. We put this bolt 1x in here because there was a gap on the other side you could see out. So went ahead and hit that. Also, show you this here. So this door will shut. That door wants to stay open, and when it shuts, it's way less of a crack. But we're gonna find a way to make that better. Maybe a board right here to overlap to cover the gap, and then a way to actually shut this and lock it from the inside. So once you're in here, you're in here. Now this will be dramatically brighter because right now the garage door is open. So once the garage door shuts, there's a whole lot more light up behind the door. So the front of this booth will be a lot brighter. And I did add, I'll show you this over here. I finally cleaned the fridge. No more craziness here. It's crazy. Went ahead and cleaned off the workbench before Ron threw everything on it. And then I added another light there, and I added another light there. Just any light that I can get in here is what I'm trying to do. But yeah, that's where we're at, guys. Everything went fuzzy there. Okay. So paint booth is a paint booth. We are still on track for tomorrow to hopefully paint the inside of the hood and the trunk. One thing for sure, I need to get that air conditioner and get it over here. The portable air conditioner, not to put in the paint booth, but to put outside of the paint booth here and plug it in to try to condition the air all around the booth so that it helps condition the booth a little bit. We're looking at about 94 degrees in here right now with, what's our thing say? What we got there? So it's 95 degrees with 44% humidity right now in the garage. So pretty hot, pretty humid. Sweat box, honestly, but you know, it's Florida. So that's where we're at, guys. Just wanted to show you this. Stay tuned. I will bring you the rest of this here in a little bit once we get all the little nooks and crannies done, and we'll go over it. And then yeah, tomorrow, stay tuned. We'll be starting to paint. Hopefully Tuesday we'll be painting the body. Tomorrow's the back side of the hood and the trunk lid. We're gonna test out the booth, test out our exhaust, make sure we don't need to add anything there, make sure everything works, doesn't do anything stupid. You know, just a nice little test run. But they need to be painted anyway, so it just gives us a chance to do that. And then, yeah, off we go. We got a plethora of shit out here we gotta paint. So there's parts all over the inside of the house. We gotta paint that body Tuesday. Fenders, deck lid. That's a big old hood. This stuff is what we'll be working on tomorrow. The back side, so that side of the trunk, and then the bottom side of the hood. And yeah, so stay tuned, guys. But we have a paint booth. It is going great. No issues so far. Exhaust fan works great. Pulls pretty good. Pretty happy with that when it's running. I think we're going to be in a good place. So stay tuned. And I'll be back in a second. Hey guys, so here's the booth. Front of the booth. Now the booth dimensions 14 foot wide, 18 feet long, 83.5 inches tall. Okay, that's the dimensions of the booth. We have two, basically we cut them down a little bit, but 4x8 sheets of 7/16 plywood for doors with hinges. We've got this, so once we roll whatever we're in there, we use this to seal it. We put a screw in here and it just tightened, boom, we don't have to worry about it. Now one problem we do have is there's a gap under the door, so we put towels under there and that seals that up, so that just seals that gap. This board here we added, it's a 1x4x8. As you can see, it kind of overlaps, so this will be the first door to shut. I'll show you this and get this out of the way. So this is basically what this looks like here, right? Boom. But you see that board in there? Now there's no gap. Normally that would be a big gap, right? So did that. Over here, we've got our fresh air intake filters. Boom, 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 and boom. I had a standalone HVAC unit, an AC, that I have running into the booth through this filter, just because it's just so hot. I'm trying to do anything I can to condition the air, and it barely keeps up. Now over here, we didn't trim this because it just was pointless, but all of my lighting is coming across and hitting right here. You see all the different cords. I've got them zip tied up here out of the way, and here. You come back here. This is our exhaust fan setup. We put a Hercules fan right there blowing on it just to keep it cool. Now the screw up that we made was the air for the fan is on the back. So we were running this and it got hot and shut off on high heat. So we went and bought that Hercules fan for 30 bucks at Harbor Freight and put it there. And that's helping. That's keeping it going. But if there is a point of failure today, it is there. Okay. Got it ducted in here. I used the tape here and on the other side over there to get that sealed up. Okay. Our air hose were plugged in here, and it goes through a hole down there, which I'll show you on the other side. Got all that. But this gives us an ability to still walk over here and still use the garage, which is exciting. Then in the booth, I apologize, I do have parts in here. Here's your ceiling, plastic's off all the way. That was a nightmare to keep it as straight as possible with as few wrinkles as possible. It was not easy. We started in that corner, in this corner, and kind of draped. We nailed the top, then we threw it up over this one, nailed this, threw it up over this one, nailed it here on top of the 2x4. That was the only way to do it that we at the time. So that's what we did. We've got lighting. We added a 2x4 here and put this light here. This light, if you remember, was here. Moved that because when he paints the roof of the car, I need as much lighting as possible. So this is dead center of the room. I've got some more lighting there. I've got lighting here. And again, all the cords ran up and over. I just zip tied them up. This is for the exhaust fan. Exhaust fan here. Got another filter here. That's the hole for the air hose. So you see the air hose is in here. Now, if this was a more permanent thing, I'd probably mount the air hose somewhere, or somewhere where I could roll it up like a hose, like garden hose, right? Like just screw something there. But for now, this works. Now, our entry door, 7/16 plywood. We got a little latch here, right? We can lock ourselves in. But what we did, got antifreeze holding it. We put this here, this board here, this 1x here, here, and then this 2x4 we made here to seal the gaps, right? And then we can just take this, boom, and boom. If I can get my fingers to work. Boom and boom, and it's latched. Now he's locked in here because this will be screwed in from the outside once we start going. You guys can see the AC coming through here. You can really feel it when you stand in front of it. Right now we have 84 degrees in the booth with 58% humidity. So it's muggy, it's hot, it is what it is. But this booth's gonna work really good. Exhaust fan, so far so good. I'm feeling good about it. So this is what we got, guys. This is how we did it. Again, it's 14 foot wide, 18 feet long, 83.5 to the ceiling because that gets us under the garage door. It's probably be the same measurements for most of you guys. And yeah, not bad. So guys, for watching this, if you've got anything out of it, please like and subscribe. It's a huge boost to the channel. We'd really appreciate it. We are going to get into painting the back side of the hood today and the back side of the trunk lid. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, guys.